Today I want to share something really special. Steam is running some absolutely wild sales right now, and I've handpicked the best co-op games you can grab for almost nothing. These are the kind of games that are way more fun with friends, from intense survival challenges to hilarious chaotic shooters. So stick around, because I'm going to go through them one by one and tell you exactly why each of them is worth your time. Let's kick things off with Battlefield 2042, and man, this discount is insane, 95% off. Battlefield is all about massive, large-scale warfare with up to 128 players in one match. Picture yourself parachuting into a city while tanks are rolling down the streets and helicopters are fighting above you. The launch was messy, no doubt, but after tons of updates, the game has become way more polished, and honestly, for the price of a cup of coffee, it's worth it just to hop in with friends, mess around with vehicles, or experience that signature Battlefield chaos. Next up, we've got Dying Light, Definitive Edition, and this one is an absolute must-have at 80% off. If you've never played Dying Light, it's basically a zombie survival game mixed with parkour. During the day, you're exploring a huge open city, scavenging supplies, crafting weapons, and jumping across rooftops. But at night, the game completely changes. Zombies become stronger, faster, and terrifyingly aggressive, and in co-op, this is where it shines. Imagine running for your life across rooftops with your friend right behind you, both of you screaming and laughing as you just barely escape. It's one of those unforgettable co-op experiences that few games can match. Moving into fantasy territory, we've got Warhammer, Vermintide 2, also at 80% off. Think of this as Left 4 Dead, but with swords, axes, magic, and hordes of rat men called Skaven. Each run feels like a crazy cinematic battle where everything is falling apart and your team is desperately trying to survive. The combat feels weighty, every swing matters, and teamwork is everything. I've had runs where we thought we were done for, surrounded on all sides, and somehow managed to pull through together. That's the magic of Vermintide. For something more hardcore, there's Remnant. From the Ashes at 80% off. This game is often called Dark Souls with guns, and that's not an exaggeration. The bosses are tough, the enemies hit hard, and death comes quick if you're not careful. But here's the cool part. The world is procedurally generated, so each run gives you different layouts, enemies, and loot. Playing in co-op feels amazing because you and your friends actually rely on each other to get through the tougher encounters. I still remember the first time we beat one of those massive tree monsters. It felt like a real achievement. If you just want some pure, mindless fun, then Killing Floor 2 at a crazy 90% off is perfect. This is a wave-based shooter where you and your squad mow down hordes of mutants with some of the most over-the-top weapons I've ever seen. The game doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just about shooting, surviving, and laughing with your team. And honestly, it's one of those games where a quick let's play for 30 minutes can easily turn into a whole evening. Another one for zombie fans is Zombie Army Trilogy, also 90% off. Now this is from the same team that made Sniper Elite, so it's got that satisfying slow-motion bullet cam. But instead of regular enemies, you're fighting Nazi zombies. The story is completely ridiculous in the best way possible. It's campy, it's gory, and it's just a ton of fun to play with friends. If you enjoy games that don't take themselves too seriously, this is a great pick. For something more tactical, let's look at the Division bundle, which is 83% off. Here your agents dropped into a post-apocalyptic New York after a deadly virus outbreak. The world feels incredibly detailed and immersive. Your snow-covered streets, abandoned cars, and people trying to survive. The missions really shine in co-op because it's all about teamwork, covering each other, and pushing through tough firefights. If you like looter shooters with that tactical element, this one is absolutely worth picking up. And speaking of tactics, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is sitting at 90% off. This is an open-world military shooter where you and your squad are dropped on an island controlled by rogue soldiers. The cool thing about this game is the freedom. You can approach a mission however you want, sneak in quietly with suppressed weapons, set up sniper positions on a hill, or just go full-on guns blazing. It's one of those games where coordinating with friends actually feels rewarding because when a plan comes together, it feels awesome. Now let's switch gears to survival with Green Hell, currently 75% off. This one is brutal, but in the best way. You're dropped into the Amazon rainforest, and everything wants to kill you. Snakes, parasites, infections, and even your own sanity. You need to craft tools, build shelters, and find food. Alone, it's tough, but in co-op, it's a completely different experience. I remember playing with a friend and spending an entire night just trying to build a proper camp before we both starved. It's challenging, but if you enjoy realistic survival, this is one of the best. If you want something lighter, the Escapists 2 at 80% off is a fantastic option. The whole idea is simple. You're prisoners and your goal is to escape, but the way you do it can be hilarious. Digging tunnels, disguising yourself, or causing distractions. Playing with friends makes it twice as funny, especially when someone messes up and ruins the entire plan. It's one of those games that always leads to laughter. For racing fans, both WRC 9 and WRC 10 are 90% off. These are official rally racing games with licensed cars, real tracks, and a physics system that feels brutal but rewarding. Rally racing is all about precision. Each one wrong turn and you're spinning off into a ditch. Playing with friends adds that competitive edge where you're constantly trying to beat each other's times or just survive a tough course without crashing. A newer addition to the list is Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League at a jaw-dropping 95% off. This one lets you play as Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. It's set in the Arkham universe, and the story is about taking down corrupted versions of the Justice League. The gameplay is flashy, fast-paced, and chaotic, and it's designed for co-op. Honestly, the game's launch wasn't perfect, but at this discount it's absolutely worth it if you're looking for something colorful and fun to play with friends. And finally, I want to end with something a bit different. American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2, both 75% off. These games are surprisingly relaxing. Instead of shooting or surviving, you're just driving trucks, delivering cargo, and exploring huge maps. The multiplayer is surprisingly fun too, because you can just hop on voice chat, cruise down the highways with friends, and talk about anything while the scenery rolls by. It's the kind of co-op experience that's not about adrenaline, but about hanging out and chilling. So that's my list of the best cheap co-op games you can grab on Steam right now. From surviving zombie apocalypses to relaxing road trips, there's something here for every mood, and with discounts this huge, it's honestly hard to go wrong. Which one of these are you picking up first? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.